What is up, guys? Back again for another episode of 70's Hard and Heavy. I think you're going to really like this addition to the playlist. I'm just going to take a few minutes. For those of you that don't know the drill, I'm going to take a few minutes to show a record, add it to the playlist, make some comments about my impressions listening to it, maybe a couple facts on the pressing, do a couple needle drops, and then get you on your way. So you may recognize the cover behind me. That's Pappo's Blues. It was a band from Argentina. Came out in 1970, and happened to be, which I recognize the album cover for the one I'm just about to show you. I was doing some record digging with some friends in Cincinnati, walking along down the wall of the store, and I kind of looking at all the expensive records up on the wall when this popped up, and I did one of those, "Hello, what are you doing there? You know, let me take a closer look at that." Verified that this was an original and had to buy it. So this is Pappo's Blues 2. I believe it came out in 1972. This is a gatefold cover, pressed in Argentina on the Music Hall label. And when you open it up, there's a really nice full picture there of Pappo. Let me see. Some of the thoughts I had about the album was the production's a little rough, and the fact that some of the songs feel a little bit unfinished because they fade out. Great songwriting. You got the chorus, the solo, chorus. And then all of a sudden it seems like they're going to jam or do something, and then there's a couple of fade outs. Other than that, I loved it, and now I know why people seek originals, because playing this record, you know, through the turntable, through a solid state receiver, man, just sounded phenomenal. It just really put me in the studio with the band. I could almost smell the lingering smoke in the little studio. I can almost feel the heat coming off the tube amps of the amplifiers. And it sounds phenomenal for an original pressing. And I realized what's missing, because when I was doing a little bit of research before turning the camera on, I was sampling it again on YouTube, and it sounds nowhere near. I mean, obviously we collect records, and that's why we listen to music through our stereos and not on YouTube or streaming music. But I'm saying this is a big example of a huge gap between the original pressing and what you can hear on YouTube. But incredible music. Pappo, I mean, he just inspired from Cream, Eric Clapton, you know, kind of channeling that Jimi Hendrix guitar sound through him, and he does it with sincerity. Kind of reminds me of like a Stevie Ray Vaughan, where he just loves the music, feels the music, and just lets loose. And when he has those moments on this record, just makes it worth it for me. The reason why I have it in this series is because it is heavier. Some of the songs are, one of them is just a little bit doomier. One of the last tracks on here, Tumba. But great example. It is in Spanish. So all the vocals are in Spanish and not in English, if that's a deterrent for you. Believe me, the guitar playing is phenomenal. If you like heavy blues or acid rock, you're going to enjoy this album. It's not as psychedelic as the first one there, but this has an incredible amount to offer, and I was just really happy to find an original. I don't have very many, if any, originals when it comes to these 70's Hard and Heavy. I think I have Sir Lord Baltimore original and some of the easier ones to find. But there's a Music Hall label. It looks a little red on my screen there, but this is kind of a pinkish color. This record would be a strong VG plus because 90% of it is, except that there is just a couple little kind of some scratches here and there that if I was selling this, I'd probably have to sell it as a VG. But like I said, drop the needle on this. It sounds great. Very little, if any, surface noise. Very happy with this pressing and with this edition. Is it time for a needle drop? Did I say everything I wanted to say? Pappo, so he was a musician, lifelong musician, and cranked out albums and worked on projects all the way up until his untimely death in 2005 due to a motorcycle wreck. So passed away a little bit too soon in his 50s, so probably had a lot more music to give. I'm only just now chasing him, trying to learn more about him and his music, and so this is only the second album for me. The next album I'll be trying to track down is his third release and kind of go from there. Don't know if it'll make it to the 70's Hard and Heavy, but these are two great examples for this series. If you like the sound, go check out Pappo's Blues, and happy hunting out there.
Sin pedir nada, solo poder pensar que si nos ponemos todos de acuerdo llegará la paz.
Well sought after, just like a lot of the 70s, original 70s, obscure 70s, obscure 70s, obscure 60s. It goes without saying, blah, 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 blah. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back for another episode of 70s Hard and Heavy. I got a really good example here, another addition to the series, to the playlist. Alright, now I think I'm finally getting some traction with how I want to record this video. It usually does take quite a few takes, as it always